Now let's get back to building this dragon. Now the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to basically hang chicken wire in unspecified lengths from this armature, and then I'm going to start laying out my wing design with the individual fingers that will go in the wings. And I'll zip tie the chicken wire up onto the armature, and I'm not even going to cut it out to fit the armature. I'm just going to zip tie it up there. It's going to be hanging out everywhere. And then I'm going to come through later and I'm just going to cut it out straight to the design that's there. There's no reason to measure and mark things, and I'm just going to tack it all up there and cut it all out, and then I'm going to design the bottom, and then I'm going to cut it all out, and then I'm going to fiberglass both sides of it so the chicken wire will act as kind of rebar. That'll work good, I think. So now I've got my 3 full lengths of chicken wire cut. You probably can't see it on the video very well, but it starts right here and it goes all the way past here. I still have to cut the inside where I need it. But before I do that, I'm going to, and I've straightened them out to some degree. It's hard to straighten them out when they come on a roll that small. But I'm going to make all my cuts up here all the way along so I can bring that down under. So everything is hanging exactly under this. Zip tied in place and hanging under this, with the lumpy part of the zip tie, the connector part, underneath as well. And I'm also going to split these wires in a few spots, quite a few spots, you know, a few dozen. Split them right there, and then use the 2 tendrils, if you want to call them that are hanging out that I've now split, to wrap around this side to tie them together. But I can't do that until after I've dropped them all. Once I've dropped them all, then I can tie them all together, and then I can work on straightening them out better. All right, now we've got my 3 additional fingers coming down off here. They've been measured out and kinked in spots that seem proportional according to the material I'm looking at. And now I'm going to do the other side the exact same. And then after that, I'm going to actually fiberglass both wings in without finishing out the bottom. Once this is all glassed in sufficiently, then I'll draw my lines on the bottom and cut them both out. So now I got to take a break from building wings to sandblasting a dump truck. Want to ride along? I don't blame you, but either way, I got to go do it. Okay, now I got the blasting done on this thing yesterday, and now the boys are getting it ready for getting it masked up so we can get started on the absolute mountain of body work and prep to do. And in the meantime, I'm going to finish my second wing and maybe even get some glass on them today. All right, we got the wings lined out here. Got all my fingers in place, and then I tied each one of them down. This one's to the floor, this one's to the tail, just to pull them tight where they needed to be tight, just to create some tension. Otherwise they're a little too wavy. And then I went ahead and fastened it completely, sandwiched it on both sides and fastened it to the thing so I can pull it from here both directions and kind of pin it in place. But this at least gets it fastened to the main structure. Now I'm going to take off strategically, putting the fiberglass on the top of that wing, then on the top of that wing. Then when it's dry, I'll do the next layer. And when that's cured, I'll do the next layer. And I'll just keep attaching it to dry layers, dry and cured layers. Tape, keep it up and keep it from sliding down the thing, you know. And in the meantime, we're getting the truck masked up. Getting the air cleaners and the exhaust taken off. Nothing's come off easy. It's wanting to break bolts. It's wanting to cause me all kinds of trouble. We'll be replacing the fenders on this one, so those will eventually come off. All right, back to my fiberglassing. Want to ride along? All right, I've got my cutting station set up, and I've got my actual resonating station set up. And now I'm going to take these pieces that are 18 inches wide and 50 inches long, and I'm going to put them on the insides of the wings on each side, and that's where I'm going to start. And then I'm going to build out from there. I changed my mind about how I was initially going to do it, and this is how I'm going to tackle it instead. All right, so I got this first layer of fiberglass on. It's only one layer thick. You can see how thin it is. And I've had to take the piece itself and lean it clear over, because I was hoping to hang the fiberglass from both sides and then stick it together in the middle throughout the chicken wire. But it just wouldn't work. So I ended up just tipping it over to use gravity, and I'll do this entire side, probably 2 layers thick instead of 1. And then once that's all cured, I'll lean it the other way and I will put fiberglass 1 layer thick on the inside. And that's the way I'll end up doing it. All right, I've let this cure overnight, and I've taken down all the burrs and all the things that would hold the next layer of fiberglass up in the air and create bubbles. This is only 1 layer thick, and I'm not happy with that, so I'm going to put another layer on this, another layer right there on that one, just those 2. The rest of them are already 2 layers thick, and they're great. So now here this morning, I'm going to lay my additional wing size in place and my additional layer on top of these, tie it into the back nice and heavy like I wanted to. And that's on the agenda for this morning. Now I've got all my glass laid on the outer wing, and I'll wait for it to cure out, and then I can trim it all up, cut it out. Well, I probably won't cut it out yet. I'll probably work on the back side. I'll probably get that all laid out first and then cut it out once it's sandwiched. All right, now we got it turned around. Had the boys step away from that dump truck for a minute and help me turn this around and lean it back up against the ladder again. So now I can go ahead and lay the glass on this side, but first I got a little bit of prep I got to do, and then I'm gonna get busy laying out the glass on the inside of the wings. So I got the fiberglass all laid in here. The reason for the tape is because the tape helps hold that down. It doesn't weigh it down, but it helps keep it uniform, and it helps keep it sticking to the surface below it. So I wanted to outline these 3 ribs that I put in here, and that was the best way to do it. That's why all the tape. I'm going to get that tape pulled off, and then I'm going to trace my design on here, and then I'm going to cut it out.